Sino God, Galile Chiquero, Kohik, Wade Blevins, Tawadon, here Nakine, Jalagi Nakine, RSU TV, Digana New Go, Kohik, Tosco, Nakine, Jalagia de Lo Costicale. So, welcome. This is Cherokee 4 here on RSU TV. My name is Wade Blevins. I'm very happy that I'm here today. This is our 24th Cherokee lesson. So if you remember from our last lesson, we did a song. We're going to do it again today just because I think it's kind of catchy. I kind of like it. Some of the songs that I do, I'm not, super thrilled with, but this one is kind of catchy, and I feel like it's got some merit to it. It's got some good vocabulary that you can use. So if you remember, we did the Bringing Home a Baby Bumblebee song, and so we learned the word for stung and bringing something or carrying something that's alive. We learned, the words for proud and to make mad, which are fairly complicated. And then we've been looking at classifying verbs, but this time we're just looking at them in the solid state, okay, rather than looking at them as a solid and then as a liquid and then as a long object and then as a flexible object and then as a living object, We're just looking at sentences that have classifying verbs in the solid state. And I put together, last time I put together 4 sentences that I feel like you can use, that you can add to your vocabulary and talk about more things. Today, I added 4 more sentences for you, and we're going to look at those. And again, I think that these are sentences that are, fairly high frequency. They're fairly usable with very simple modifications. And then I've flipped it, and I've done some sentences in English, and we're going to work through them together. And so we're going to see how we can use those words that we learned this time and make some very simple changes and be able to talk about more things. So, are we ready? Nozu, come, idalena. All right, so here we have our wadulisi, right? And here is our first verse of the song. Let's read through it together, and then we'll sing it after we're done. So this says, Ushti wadulisi jini agiji dagalagotana gele. Ushti wadulisi jini ayo aki wacha hia. So, usti wadulisi jihi akiji dagalagotana gele. Usti wadulisi jihi. Chikata ha. Osta jina gala wadulisi agiji dagalagotana gele. Osta jina gala wadulisi tla yidajina lastana agiji. Okay, yidajina lastana. That's a big long word. So, yidajina lastana, right? It's a long word, and sometimes my tongue gets tripped up over it. So we've gone through it. Let's go ahead and sing it, and we'll do the actions. So if you remember the actions, the first one, we're going to carry the little bee, then we're going to squish the little bee, then we're going to clean the little bee, right? So pretty easy, right? All right. Come, Didi Nogi, Sawu Ta Jong. Usti waduli si ji ni agi ji dagala gwotana geli. Usti waduli si ji ni ayo aki wacha ya. Usti waduli si ji agi ji dagala gwotana geli. Usti waduli si ji chikadaha. Osta jinagala waduli si agi ji dagala gwotana geli. Osta jinagala waduli si klayita jinala stana agiji. Okay, so you see how that works? I kind of like the song. It's catchy. So and it fits really well. Okay, so as you remember, let's review the sentences that we had last time. Here they are. I'm going to give you just a few seconds to read through them to see if you can remember what they were and what they did and what they meant. And then we'll read them together, okay? So I'll give you just maybe 30 seconds. All right? All right. Let's read the first one. Sankta uwansa ugisti udesa udesa. Sankta uwansa ugisti udesa. Now, if you're going to say them short, you can say sankt, uwansa, ugist, udesa. Okay? Sankt, uwansa, ugist, udesa. Okay, and if you remember correctly, that's he or she picked a ripe apple to eat. Right? Sankt, an apple, uwansa means ripe, ugist, to eat, udesa, he removed a solid object from a hanging position, right? Udesa. Okay, let's do the next one. Skohi iutli lord gada uha. Okay, if you're going to skohi can become skon iutli lord. God, I guess you could say that. Uha. Okay. Skon iutli lord gada uha. So he or she has 10 acres of land. Okay. 10 acres land. He or she has it. Skohi iutli lord gada uha. Okay, the next one. Ginuti ulesa udlawatai. Ginuti ulesa udlawatai. Okay, there's another word for pocket. It's almost the same. Real quickly, let me look it up for you so I can give that to you. Udlawata is the word I know for pocket, but if you look, let's see here. Yep, that's the word that I know. Could have sworn Udlawata. Okay, no. Okay, I do see an hajowata. Hajowata. Let's see, that may be Eastern, but Udlawata is the word I know for pocket. Ginut is a quarter. Ginut. Ulesa, he or she took it out of a container. He or she took something solid out of a container. Ulesa. Okay? So very similar to udesa, right? Udesa, to pick it. Ulesa, to take it out. Okay? Udlawatai. Okay, so he or she took a quarter out of his or her pocket. Okay? And then the next one says, Hotla Turkey na Adayala Turski. Adayala Turski. Hotla Turkey na Adayala Turski. So where did you get the TV? Where did you get the TV? Okay? Hotla Turkey na Adayala Turski. Okay? I was trying to think of that Adayalata. Let's see if we can, there's, yeah, Udayalata is like it's like an image, right? Adayalataski. So it's an image maker is Udayalataski, an imager, right? So Udayalata can be like an image or a shadow. I remember many years ago, a first language speaker by the name of Alice Jumper Wilder, she wrote a story that she remembers as a girl growing up about Udayalata, about this shadowy figure that they would see walking, and I believe it was carrying a light. It was carrying a light, but it was just a shadow, Udayalata. So Adayalataski is an image maker, okay? So Hatla Chagise na Adayalataski, okay? So those were the 4 sentences that we had last time, right? Let's look at our 4 new ones, okay? Okay. I'll give you just a couple minutes to read through it on your own. If you need to get your syllabary chart to help you, then put it on pause and go get what you need. But it really does help you to try and read through it yourself and not wait for me to read it for you. Of course, I'm going to read it for you, but it will help you out if you do it yourself. So, I give you just a few seconds. Okay. So, let's read the first one. Na, ohla, ohla, escanse, escanse. Okay? Some of you might have figured this one out. No, the or that, ohla, soap. So if you're unfamiliar with that word, now is a good time to learn it. Ohla is soap, okay? Both the thing itself and, of course, there's a Cherokee family. Their last name is Soap. Ohla, okay? Escanse, escanse. So that means give it to me, right? So give me the soap. Give me the soap. Na ohla escanse. Give the soap to me. Okay? Okay. Then this one says, Hila yiga sankta da hi dong. Okay. Da hi dong. Da hi dong. Okay. Da hi dong. Okay. Okay. Hila yiga sankta da hi dong. Da hi dong. Halayik, how many? Halayik, how many? Sankta, apples. Da he don't is he carrying, okay? So or not carrying but holding. Da he don't is holding something solid. Halayik sankta da he don't, how many apples is he holding? Halayik sankta da he don't, how many apples is he holding? Okay. Okay. So this one, gohusti, gohusti, or gohust, agist, or agisti, huigi, huigi, ahjödla, ahjödla distiski. Okay, ahjödla distiski. E. Okay, so oh, that one, that's not correct. that one needs to be spelled different. Let me change that really quickly because I know if I don't do it right now, there we go. Okay, so let's go back there. There, that made the change. Okay, so go host something, a geest, something to eat. Go host a geest, something to eat. Okay, huigi, go get it. Okay, we learned that go get it. Remember we learned huinegi and huinegi and huigi and huiya. Go get something, right? And this is huigi. Okay. Ahudla di ski. Okay. So do you remember the word uhudla? Uhudla means cold. So what do you think the word ahudla di ski? Okay. So if you take the I off the end, ahudla di ski. Okay, ahudla di ski. Or ahudla di stisk. Ahudla di stisk is a refrigerator, right? Makes it cold, right? And then the I at the end makes it a location. So, go hosta geest, something to eat, huigi, go get it. Ahudla di ski from the refrigerator. Okay? Ahudla di ski. Okay, so you can definitely use that in your everyday Cherokee, in your everyday language. You know, Yi yo siko hustakist huigi ahudla diski. If you're hungry, go get something to eat from their fridge, right? So, or, you know, you could tell them to get something specific, you know, an apple, since we seem to be using apple a lot. Sukta huigi ahudla diski. So go get the apple from their fridge, right? You know, lettuce, you know, whatever, as long as it's in a solid shape and it's not a liquid or it's not something long and rigid, right? So, bologna, maybe, I don't know. I don't know if bologna would count as that or something like flexible because it's floppy. I'm not sure. But go hustakist huiki ahudla diski. So go get something to eat from the fridge. Okay? Then this last one here, this says skonhi adela dunela uwej achuj skon adel dunela uwej achuj. Okay. Skon adel dunela uwej achuj. So, skon 10, adela, dollars, $10. Skon adel, $10. Dunela, he gave it to him. Dunela, he gave it to him. Okay. Uwejachuj, his son or her son. Could be she gave it to him or she gave it to her, right? Could still mean the same thing, okay? Now, if you're a person that goes on the online dictionary quite a bit, you'll see, and I just now realized the reason why. You'll see on there a sentence that's almost exactly the same. It said, Sko adel unela uwejachuj. Okay? Can you tell me, but then whenever I asked another speaker about that sentence, they were like, well, I would say dunela, dunela. Okay? Can you guess why either one is perfectly fine? You could say dunela or unela. Okay? So if you guessed, of course, the dunela means giving more than one thing. Unela means giving one single thing. So my thought on it is, to the speaker that wrote it in the online dictionary, they were like, well, it's a $10 bill, a single $10 bill. But to the speaker that I was talking to at the time, they were like, well, you know, maybe it's 10 ones, maybe it's 2 fives, maybe it's a 5 and 5 ones, you know. But in their mind, the picture in their mind, the person was, the dad or the mom was giving more than one bill, more than one piece of money. So to her, dunela made more sense. I think probably either one would be perfectly fine. It just depends. Unela would be if it's a single $10 bill. Dunela would be if it's more than one bill, okay? So he gave his son $10, or she gave her son $10. We don't know because it doesn't say whether it was a male or a female in the story. All right, so let's go back through, let's read through them together. So this says, na ohla eskansi. Na ohla eskansi. Hand me the soap. Hilayig sankta dahidon. Hilayig sank dahidon. Gohus de geest huigi a hudla dis ski. Gohus de geest huigi a hudla dis ski. Skon adel dunela uwejachuj. Skon adel dunela uwejachuj. Okay? So lots of really, really good vocabulary here. You know, stuff that you can use every day. We've got the word for refrigerator. We've got the word for TV. I think we've had them in the past, but they're kind of big words. So, you know, going through them again is not going to hurt. The theory is that we pick up or we acquire the language when our brain is developmentally ready for it, when our progression in the language is to the point where we can handle it. So that's why it's always a good idea to revisit and review words, because words that just keep slipping out of your mind, at earlier, maybe now you're at the point where you can acquire it and it becomes yours. So, all right, so let's go through and let's see. I'll quiz you a little bit. So remember, whenever I ask, how do you say, you can say "getohyat" or "dohadesko." Okay. This time, I think I'm going to say "dohadesko." Okay. Just because I don't know. Just because. Dohadesko ohla. Dohadesko ohla. Soap. Dohadesko sakta. Dohadesko sakta. Apple. Dohadesko ahyrla diski. Dohadesko ahyrla diski. Fridge or refrigerator, right? Ahyrla diski. Dohadesko adel. Dohadesko adel. Money. Dohadesko halayik. Dohadesko halayik. How many? Dohadesko agist. Dohadesko agist means to eat. Dohadesko uwejachuj. Dohadesko uwejachuj. Sun. Dohadesko skon. Dohadesko skon. Ten. Dohadesko eskansi. Dohadesko eskansi. Give it to me. Give me something solid. Dohadesko huigi. Dohadesko huigi. Go get it. Something solid. Go get it. Dohadesko dahido. 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 He or she is holding something solid. He or she is holding. Dohadesko dunela. Dohadesko dunela. He or she gave them. He or she gave them. Okay? Let's try the one before. Dohadesko gada. Gada. Dirt or land, right? Dohadesko udlawada. Dohadesko udlawada. pocket. Dohadisko adayala Tusky. Adayala Tusky. Television. Dohadisko uwansa. Uwansa. Ripe. Dohadisko ginuti. 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 Quarter. Dohadisko iutli load. Iutli load. Acres. Dohadisko uha. Uha. He or she has it. He or she has it. Uha. Dohadisko ulesa. Dohadisko ulesa. He or she took something solid from a container. Okay? Dohadisko udesa. Udesa. Udesa picked it or removed something solid from a hanging position, right? Dohadisko jagise. Jagise. Jagise means you got it. You got it. Ugis. Jagise. Jagise. Okay? All right, so what I'm going to do now is really quick. So that's 8 sentences. I'm going to put it where there are none of them on there that you can see. And I'm going to read one of them. And you tell me which one I did, okay? Ginuti ulesa udlawata. Ginuti ulesa udlawata. Ginuti ulesa udlawata. Okay. He took a quarter out of his pocket. How about Gohusta gist huigi ahidla dis diski. Gohusta gist huigi ahidla dis diski. Go get something to eat from the fridge. Na ohla escanse. Na ohla escanse. Give me the soap or hand me the soap. Tsko iutli load gada uha. Tsko iutli load gada uha. Tsko iutli load gada uha. Okay, he has 10 acres. Hadla tagise na adayala Tusky. Hadla chagise na adayala tuski. Where did you get the TV? Skoadale dunela uweja chuj. Skoadale dunela uweja chuj. Skoadale dunela uweja chuj. Okay, he or she gave his or her son $10. Santa uwansa ugisti udesa. Santa uwansa ugisti udesa. He picked a ripe apple to eat. Halayig sancta dahidon. Halayig sancta dahidon. How many apples is he holding? Okay, so hopefully you did really well. If not, don't worry about it. You can rewind it as many times as you want until you can get it. Okay? We all learn at different rates. So now, in the time remaining, let's see if you can do these. So these sentences are very, very, very similar to the ones we just did. I just changed some of the words around. Okay? So go get an apple from the fridge. Okay? He has an apple. He took an apple from the basket. Where did you get that apple? Right? So, so we use apple a lot because I really don't want you to worry about that part of the vocabulary. Really what I want you to concentrate on is knowing the verb part, right? So I'm going to give you just a few minutes. Try to do the first one. Try to tackle the first one. Go get an apple from the fridge. If you need to, refer back. Okay. Here's this one here. Go get something to eat from the fridge. This one's asking, go get an apple from the fridge. So something specific. Okay. Okay, I think I have my answer. Do you have yours? All right, let's see how we did, okay? So, Sankta Huigi Ahudla di ski. Sankta Huigi Ahudla di ski. Okay? Sankta Huigi Ahudla di ski. So hopefully you got that. So how would you say, he has an apple? Okay? He has an apple. That one is going to be fairly short, just 2 words. Right? Just 2 words. He has an apple. Give you just a few seconds to figure it out. Okay, he has an apple. All right, so see, just 2 words, very, very short. Sankta u ha. Sankta u ha. So he has an apple. Okay, how about he took an apple from the basket? He took an apple from the basket. Okay, so we're talking about taking a solid object out of a container. Okay, so you remember that sentence? Okay. give you, by the way, the word basket, if you don't know the word for basket, it's taluja. Taluja. Okay? Taluja. Okay? Now let's see how we did with this one. Sakta ulesa talujai. Sakta ulesa talujai. Okay, and the last one. Where did you get that apple? Okay. Where did you get that apple? Okay. The word where, hodla, jagise, na sukta. Okay. Hodla jagise, na sukta. Where did you get that apple? Okay. Now, if you just wanted to ask somebody, where'd you get that? Hodla jagise. Hodla jagise. Where'd you get that? Hodla jagise na sukt. Where'd you get that apple? Okay? So, hopefully, you were able to get at least a few of the words. If you didn't get the verbs, that's okay. If you just got the fact that the word sukta goes in front of the sentence, then you did awesome. You know, we're all at different places and we're all, you know, using what we have when we're ready for it. So my advice to you is, you know, if you found this difficult, then, you know, wait a little while, do it again, listen to it again. Just go through and see if you can do that part. Fast forward through the parts that you feel like you're pretty solid on, and do the parts that you don't feel so confident with, you know, like these sentences. Practice making the sentences. Take these sentences and say, you know, and replace them with other words. Just remember that we're talking specifically about solid objects, okay? Television, apple, coins, telephones, you know. The solid verbs are generally used also to talk about abstract ideas. So be aware of that too. And I'll try to do that next time. I'll try to show you some sentences like that. All right. But we're nearly out of time. So from all of us here at Cherokee Nation and RSU TV, we're real glad that you joined us today. Hopefully you found it helpful. And just keep plugging away at it. Keep doing it. You know, if you just pick up 5 or 6 phrases, then, you know, you're doing better than a lot of people are. So just keep going. And I just want to say wadon and don dago hai. Thanks.